I believe we have a Heisman quarterback. And when you have a Heisman quarterback, you got to have the receivers to make plays. And my only, individually wise, I want to make plays for him because what he has done and just him being a leader here. I have so much respect for him. Me and Hook, we go back a long time. Even when he was at Virginia Tech, I committed there before I came here. So that's how I met him at first. And it's a brotherhood, and I love him, and I try to go out there, and it doesn't matter what ball he throws me, man. I'm trying to make the play for him, just because what he has done for me. I just want to give back to him.
It was very casual. We were just kind of walking off the field, and he was like, "So what you gonna do?" I said, "I'm gonna come back next year." He was like, "Oh, okay, yeah, I'm excited. Let's go to Atlanta." And I was like, "Yes, sir. Let's make it happen."
Like 99% of the people in this world want to be great. Would you agree with that? Yeah, they're called wannabes. 1% work to be great. Drop the mic on that.
Pardon me and my tone. You can't step to my throne. They ain't working like me. I did this on my own. You asking where we been, huh? I don't know where to begin, huh? All this dirt on my skin. I just came here to win. I'm more than a man, I'm a monster. Somebody call a pastor, doctor. I got a 6 sense for imposters. So now I'm coming for the whole roster. It's not a game, why you playing with me? You could double back, lose track, try and hang with me. It must be in my veins, something you can't tame, cause I break the chains. Can't control me. I got the power, I got the keys, cause I break the chains. They try to hold me, I'ma push back, just wait and you'll see.
Welcome to the Talkin VAWLS Network. My name is Boogie Bentley.
I'm Dauber.
It's JP. What's up?
And sometimes I feel like I've done the intro so much, it's like, do I have to say it this way? Like, I don't know. It's like I get deflated on the intro. But we got to get excited. Big time freaking game coming up on Saturday. Looking forward to talking about it. Getting JP on here. Getting his opinion. I feel like me and Dauber talk 42 times a week on this show. It's always fun to add a fresh face. That's why I love getting Eric Kane on here. I love getting Gabriel on here. The fan call-in's always fun. JP getting on here is a blast as well. Got a fun show. I'm going to revisit the article. If you watch the video this morning, bear with me as I kind of go through that intro again, but I think it's worth getting the opinions of Dauber and JP. I'm excited about the article. It was such an interesting read, so I'm looking forward to kind of going through the opening of that again, getting their opinion, and then we're going to dive into this LSU game. JP, it feels like a turning point, man. I know it feels like Groundhog's Day. I feel like I keep saying this, but dang it, this one's important. This is a big one.
It's huge. It's huge. I mean, we got over the hurdle of the Florida, 4-0 with a great opportunity to go 5-0 with Bama coming in next week. But I mean, just another way for this program and Josh Heupel to really take the next step. Yes, beating Florida at home, you was a heavy favorite, and now you got to go on the road, conference game in a hostile environment. Vegas has us pick favorites, so heck of an opportunity for this football team to continue that growth. And I'm telling you, I mean, the opportunity is there to have a special season. That's why they'll kick it off Saturday at high noon.
We talked about it right before we went live. I had some notes prepared to talk about this rivalry, and it is kind of a rivalry, man. It feels like when Tennessee plays LSU, it's a big-time game. They faced each other in the SEC championship a couple of times over the last, 15, 20 years, the last time we've been there, which seems like an eternity ago. But the last three games on the road at LSU were decided on the final play of the game. You had the overtime game with Gerald Riggs Jr. getting in the end zone. You had the debacle. Dauber, let's go back. Let's revisit, and then I'm going to run down the chat who's here. Let's revisit that Derek Dooley game. The last, I don't know, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, just a debacle.
Jeez. I remember I was out to dinner at an Outback and walked over and stood at the bar as the game was winding down, because it was pretty much like we had it in hand, and then all that malarkey goes on, and clock mismanagement and penalty. I mean, just that is why the last 7 minutes of the Florida game makes you nervous as a Tennessee fan. It's stuff like that.
And Derek Dooley had some doozies. Like that LSU game, the Music City Bowl, where me and JP and Snake were there live. Snake about got in a fist fight coming out of the stadium. Like Derek Dooley had some rough losses in his time at Tennessee.
That LSU loss, though, I mean, I can remember that like that was just yesterday. I was so mad. I had to go outside because there was something that was going to get broke otherwise. And I can remember I just stayed outside for probably 30 minutes, just kind of just pacing around, just so frustrated over that. Gosh, it was horrible.
So
could be like Dauber breaking brooms, and
breaking
then
brooms, man.
That's this season.
I had a thought today. We were just talking before we went live about we're actually on the wrong end of a streak against LSU. I think we've dropped the last 3 on the road, like you just said, but the last 5 overall. So, it'd be good to reverse that. Here's something. Here's what I thought today. You got a coach in year one, just like we talked about Billy Napier at Florida in year one. Yeah, they're not a Eastern Division team, but they're an SEC team. Anytime you can get a year up on a coach, so he doesn't have that momentum, he can't build off of that. It's got to be a good thing, because you are recruiting against everybody in the SEC. If you have a top 10 recruiting class, you're still probably 3 or 4 people ahead of you in conference. And LSU is one that, we go down to Baton Rouge and take care of business like this team should and could do, then, man, that is, like JP said, the momentum that carries forward with this team, not just for this year, for this season, but down the road. It helps a ton recruiting-wise. It helps a ton with that. We talked about it on the Fan Call-In show, the brand of Tennessee. It's the popular thing right now. National media has a lot of love. You got kids that are wanting to come to Knoxville to play. It's just a big game Saturday.
Even though I said the same exact thing Florida week, it feels like a turning point. But that's the beauty of success. When you keep winning week in and week out, the games get bigger and the stakes get higher, and that's where we're at with this LSU game. Let's run down the chat. We're almost 10 minutes into the show, and I've not even said hello to our friends in the chat. We got 160 people watching live. Can we double that? Like, what do we got to do? Like, I feel like you guys like it more when the fans are here and me and Dauber and JP don't talk. Maybe we need to change the show. Hit that like button, share out the link, let somebody know we're live. We would appreciate it. Toby T was here bright and early. This is at 5 o'clock. This is over 2 hours ago. Dropping some orange emojis in the chat. Your boy Ponder was here. M5 in the house bright and early. Dakota's back. Man, I was looking for Dakota Sunday night during the NCAA stream. Dude never misses. And he was on vacation. He was out cruising. and I forgot all about it. Pep's Tackle and Grind in the house, first live stream I'm able to catch. Just moved to day shift. Welcome. Glad to have you in the house. That one guy, first time back since the beginning of the season. Well, what did we do to make you mad? What did we do to make you mad, that one guy?
Fault.
Oh. So when Super Chats come in there for you, but when somebody has a negative comment,
You
it's
got
because
that right, Boogie.
it was my fault, right? My
You got
fault.
that right. Yeah.
I'm sorry, that one guy. It's glad to have you back. It's because JP's here. DS4570 is in the house. Matt Zimmerman is here. What's up, Matt? Good to see you in the house as well. Let me scroll down. There was one that I wanted to put on the screen, and now I can't find it. Here it is right here. James Faust. He's always in the chat. He's a member of the channel. Says he would like to ask everybody to say a prayer for his wife having a heart cath Friday. Please and thank you, guys. Praying for your wife, James. Praying for you. Be there to support her. Look, your family, man. This is one big family. That's what the Talkin VAWLS Network is. So prayers going up for you and your wife and your family. Hope everything goes good on Friday. Let me hit these super chats real quick. James Shrum for 10. Thank you for the tip in the tip jar. Black and orange. Kneeling for Bama. What do you guys think about that? Like, I like that they're wearing smoky gray on the road. We talked about this last night. JP, you can chime in on that if you like smoky gray on the road or not. But I think you wear smoky gray on the road against LSU. I think next week, Alabama, CBS, you tell every fan inside of Neyland Stadium to wear orange. Yes, JP's got the wear orange. Let's save the black. Let's save dark mode for Kentucky. What do you think about smoky gray on the road? And what do you think about Alabama? All orange, I'm assuming, by the way you're dancing down there.
Oh, yeah. I have no problem wearing the smoky grays, whatever. If players like it and it helps us with recruits and builds up hype and all that, I'm perfectly fine with it. It's cool. It's one time a season or two at the most or whatever. So, I'm perfectly fine with that. But, yeah, Bama, next Saturday, Neyland Stadium, I would be all for the orange out. The entire stadium orange, the fans orange, and then certainly, the solid orange, the orange breeches and the orange jerseys. That's my favorite uniform anyway. So I'm all orange.
Absolutely.
You know what's so funny about this guy right here is he's a Pitt fan, but he's going to be an LSU fan this week, and then I guess. Yeah, I guess next week he'll be an Alabama fan. But we'll let him hang out here. I love to monetize people that hate us. That's the best. Like when they're here and we're making money because they can't stand it. They have to be here to voice their opinion. I love it. I enjoy it. I thrive on it. What was I gonna? I was gonna pitch something to Dauber, and now I've lost my train of thought. Let me move on here. Seth Holliday becomes a member of the channel. We appreciate that. Let's do something crazy because last night on the fan call-in show, we opened up with Eric Kane, and the chat went nuts and said, "Boogie, we need an Eric Kane Talkin VAWLS emoji." And I said, "Okay, 10 members, and we'll get it done." And we added like 18, 19 members last night. It went nuts. So Seth Holliday becomes a member of the channel. Let me say this. If we hit 20 members, 20 new members tonight, I know that's a lot. That's a lot. That's a lot of people. But look, it's as little as 99 cents a month. That's it. 99 cents a month, you become a member of the channel. If we hit 20 members, I will mail out a free Buck Fama shirt to somebody in the chat tonight. So get in where you fit in, hit that join button down below, become a member, say here's 99 cents. It's almost like a raffle. I feel like we're at the circus or a local wrestling event, and this is a good old raffle. 99 cents, you got a chance to win a Buck Fama shirt. We're 19 away. I've got the old notepad pulled up. 19 away from giving away that free Buck Fama shirt. But thank you, Seth, for becoming a member. We appreciate it. Also drops a $2 super chat, says just became a member. Go Big Orange. Love the show, guys. Thank you, Seth. We appreciate the support, my man. Peyton Williamson for $20. That is not cheap at all. Says imagine going into Kentucky 7-0. Man, we just keep raising the stakes and moving the goalpost. Let's go 4-0 in September. Got it done. Let's go into Alabama 5-0. Not done there. We're not there yet, but now we're talking about 7-0 against Kentucky. I'll take it. I love it. Thank you for the super chat, Peyton. We appreciate that. Wayne Starnes for 2. JP. $2 for JP. Thanks, Wayne.
Thank you, Wayne. Appreciate it, buddy.
Thanks, Wayne. We appreciate it, Wayne. Stevie J for $20. That ain't cheap. Here to support the channel. Go VAWLS. I love it. Thank you for the super chat, Stevie J. Big time super chat. That ain't cheap. That's the type of super chat I like because it doesn't say that it's for anybody, and that's the way it should be. Thank you, Stevie J. We appreciate it. Wayne Starnes for $2.
My man.
That's a tip.
I want to know.
It's what that is. It's just a tip.
Well, I want to know who's paying my accountant that has to track all this nonsense. Where all you people, like, it already takes me about an hour a month to do payroll, and now you guys make just complicating my life. JP and Dauber are enjoying it though, and I hope that Wayne is too. But you notice that Wayne's cheap; he only gives $2. The big time super chats like this one, Kevin Smith for $19.99. Thank you for the super chat. Kevin Smith doesn't say anything about JP or Dauber. It just says here's $20. GBO Vols burned down Baton Rouge this weekend, 42-17. I'd take
love
some
to see that.
of that. I love the confidence, Kevin. Thank you for the super chat. We appreciate it. Also, KD Corley becomes a member of the channel. So we're 18 away, 18 members away. We got a long way to go. Thank you for joining the channel. If we get 18 more members, we'll give away a free Buck Fama shirt. If you guys like the Buck Fama shirt, don't forget, you got less than 2 weeks. It's going to be gone forever. Gone forever after that Alabama game. We're going to do the post-game show after the 3:30 kickoff, and then after that, Dundee. It's gone. It is gone forever. So if you want one, go get one. Let's jump into this article. I want to share this with you guys. And look, I dropped the video. These are the type of super chats I like. Dakota for 2 says who's Boggy? I don't know who Boggy is. I don't even get my own super chat because they can't spell my name right, Dakota. But I do appreciate the $2. I'm going to assume that you meant that is for me and nobody else. James Strum for 5. Thank you for super chat. All for Boogie. This is what I'm talking about. I need this Buck Fama shirt for my dad. I love it, James. Those are the super chats we love to see. Stevie J for $20. You guys are feeling so generous. We can't even jump into the article for the super chats, and I love it. I love it. Thank you guys for the support. It does mean a lot. Stevie J says, I expect you to show the guys some love if we beat Bama and you get the $1,000 super chat. Guys, we split the super chats. Just spoiler alert. Spoiler alert. We split the super chats. But, look, this is our channel. It's my channel, but it's our channel. This is a team effort. You guys like these collaboration. It's not even a collaboration. It's just when the band is back together. That's when this channel is thriving. Look, I tell everybody, if you don't give us a chance, if you watch a video and think it's awful, come hang out for a post-game show. That's where it's at. When the band is together, hanging out, maybe drinking a cold beer and talking Tennessee football. But thank you, Stevie J, for the $20. You send $1,000 our way, have no fear. It's going to be divided up again amongst all of us, except for maybe JP. Linda says, where do I get the shirts? You can go to bonfire.com/store/Talkin VAWLS, or the link is in the description below. We got all kinds of merch. We would appreciate the support. Let's talk about this article. And again, I made a video just this morning on this, but it's worth revisiting because I want to get your opinion on this. Because, look, the way it is, all the hype, all the expectations, moving the goalposts. That's what we've been talking about all week. Talking with Eric Kane, it feels like my dogs are going nuts. Absolutely nuts. It feels like because of the bye week, it's almost like preseason. We've not had a game in, 11 days now? And it's like we don't have a lot to talk about. So all of a sudden we're talking about expectations and all that type of stuff. But this article, it's really good. It's on The Athletic. You can go to theathletic.com, pull this up. Josh Heupel wants to do for Tennessee what he was supposed to do at Oklahoma. I can't tell you. I'm just going to get into it. I'm just going to read. I'm not going through the whole article. I encourage you guys to go check it out because it really is a great read. But this says Josh Heupel has never hesitated to make bold declarations. Says here as a junior college transfer quarterback under first-year coach Bob Stoops in 1999. He led Oklahoma, a program that had not finished in the top 10 since 1987. Now, I know that's not as long as the drought that we've been through, but that's that's 12 years. 12 years right there. So Josh Heupel transfers in, JUCO college quarterback, comes into play for Bob Stoops in 1999, a program that had been down and out for 12 years. He leads them to an encouraging 7-5 season. Dauber, do you know anybody that finished 7-5 last year? Just by chance. I'm just curious if you know anybody that won 7 games last season. Anybody come to mind?
Jeez, I don't know.
Nothing on the top of your mind? That's okay. If nothing sticks out, that's fine. We'll go ahead and move on.
Okay.
It says when he gathered his teammates before the 2000 season to preview the schedule, breaking down how they could win each game on their way to winning a national title, they were understandably skeptical. Goes on to say this is a quote from his co-captain, linebacker Torrance Marshall. Josh is talking national championship, and you're like, okay, of course, that's always the goal, but that's the quote from his co-captain. Article goes on to say here, the Sooners famously pulled off Red October. JP, do you happen to, I don't know if you got a calendar. Do you know what month it is? Do you happen to know what month it is right now?
It's the 10th month.
The 10th. I don't know what. It's October? Oh, that's crazy. The Sooners famously pulled off Red October that season. They went 7-5, year one, year two. Red October. They beat the number 1 team in the country, Nebraska. The number 2 team in the country, Kansas State. Dauber, do you happen to know who's ranked number 1 and number 2 in the country? I'm just curious.
Man,
if you have any idea.
I'm liking the sound of Orange October.
Big Orange October. They also beat number 11 Texas on their way to what remains their school's last national championship. That's Nebraska, the top program in college football at the time. JP, do you know who the top program in college football is right now? Like who do people say is the top program maybe the last decade? Do you know? Anything stand out to you?
Yeah, unfortunately, Alabama.
Oh wow, a lot of things adding up here. It goes on to say, with 3 national titles in the previous 6 seasons and a 69-7 winner over the Sooners in their previous meeting a year prior, 69-7. Says here when Tennessee quarterback Hendon Hooker told Heupel in December he was coming back for his final season of eligibility, the second-year Vols head coach responded, "Let's go to Atlanta." No matter that the Vols haven't won the SEC East in 15 years and that they have the top 2 programs in the country on their schedule, number 1 and number 2, Big Orange October. Actually, Georgia's what, November? Anyway, it doesn't matter. Let's not get lost. Just don't let the details get in the way of a good story. Here's another quote from Alex Golesh. He's always told the kids and the staff, and he's held true with it, we're in a race against ourselves to be as good as we can, as fast as we can. Goes on to say, after an entertaining, encouraging 7-5 debut in Heupel's first season, Tennessee is 4-0, ranked number 8, its highest ranking in 16 years, entering Saturday's tricky trip to LSU. This is after a 38-33 win over Florida. Goes on to say they're facing a defining month of football. Number 1, Alabama. Number 2, Georgia. Number 13, Kentucky await them. Reality may be hitting soon. Hey, and that is the reality. Guys, the reality is it could be. It could be the fact that we get slapped in the face with we're not as good as we think we are. But that's why I keep going back to enjoy the process. Enjoy the ride as this team is trending upwards. Another quote from Golesh. He always thinks we're going to get whatever kid we go after in recruiting. Always thinks we're going to win every game. He always thinks we're going to crush every practice. There's a very positive, not naive, but positive spin on everything that is going on. Again, that's an article from The Athletic. I encourage you, everybody in the chat, go check that out. Great read. Dauber, what do you think when you hear that? All the similarities, all the comparisons, and the one thing that stands out to me is we've got a coach that is confident in who he is. He's been there, done that as a player, and now as a coach that is bleeding into the culture of this program.
That's some pretty wild stuff right there. I mean, you got to handle your business and take care of stuff on the field. I don't know if it. I buy into it's destiny. You know, everything's set up to mirror that. Man, I think this is a good team. It is a good coaching staff, and they are trending in the right direction. I think that they have momentum on their side right now, and Saturday in Baton Rouge is the next step walking up the hill. Could they stumble? Possibly. I mean, it's going to be a tough game. LSU has athletes. It's one of those things. We talked about it last night. I mean, what are the expectations? Well, I mean, you expect to go out there and win every game. Otherwise, why compete? Why go out there? If you're not expecting that, you don't have the chops to be out there playing. And frankly, I don't want somebody like that on the team that I'm supporting. But this is a huge opportunity. We talked last night. The big thing for me is relevancy. Tennessee football is back to being relevant. We talked about you can turn on game day, and you're likely to hear them talking about Tennessee right now because they are playing good football. You go back, I mean, even as recent as three or so seasons ago, you'd hear nothing about Tennessee unless it was some bad news or blunders or it was highlights for another team. So it is good to be relevant again. It's good to be in the mix. Recruiting wise, I have confidence, and we talked about it before the Florida game. It's that anxious, nervous feeling. You wake up and you're like, man, big game, but we're going to compete in it. It's not, you're not apathetic. You're like, here we go playing a ranked team. What are we going to do? How are we going to lose it? We'll play good for 3 quarters and then crap the bed. No, I fully expect this team to go down to LSU and play for 60 minutes.
JP, how much do you put into that article? And I don't know, the confidence of Josh Heupel, and just the fact that you can take a team going all the way back over 20 years ago that was 7-5 and had not had success in a long time. We've talked a lot on this channel about when Butch Jones was the coach and when Jeremy Pruitt was the coach, and when do you move on? When do you fire a guy he's not going to get it done? And a lot of times it's like, what does year 2 look like? Like year 1 they come in and it's almost like you get a free pass in year 1, right? You're a new coach, it's not your players, and then year 2 you talk about people taking that step in year 2. And I think we're seeing that from Josh Heupel. But how much do you put into his confidence, the hype, the expectations, everything that's going on around this program, top to bottom right now?
I mean, that's what I would take away from it. Not so much the fact that this seems comparable. That they beat the number 1, the number 2 ranked team, and the number 11th ranked team, and so forth like that. But it's just the confidence that he has. That he's not cocky about it, but the way that he has been through those moments as a player himself, and that so he can pass that on to these players and to these other coaches, and to get them prepared. And I didn't think there was so much talk leading up to that Florida game. Yes, the Tennessee fans, me included, was like, we got to see it to believe it because we've been beat by Florida so many times and the crazy stuff has happened. But, I didn't see any time during that football game that football team looked like that they were shook or that they were in awe or, that they were just ready to just melt down. I mean, Tennessee was the aggressor in that football game and ultimately ended up winning. Yes, it got closer than it should have with that. So, those are the things that I take away from it. I think that the way Heupel relates to these players and the way that he has that confidence and the way that he doesn't get uptight, and he told them to embrace the moment and everything that was leading up to that Florida game, not sit there and actually dwell on it and get yourself worked up to where, that you end up playing tight and so forth like that, but to embrace it. And I'm like Dauber. I fully expect Tennessee, whether or not that they win, who knows Saturday, but I fully expect Tennessee to go down there and compete for 60 minutes and put up a really, really good fight. I mean, look at the games last year. I mean, yeah, we went 7-6 with the bowl game, but I mean, every single game Tennessee was in. I mean, yes, Georgia pulled away there in the fourth quarter, and so did Bama. But Tennessee was down 7 points, I think, going into the fourth quarter against Bama, and had an opportunity at one point in time to stop Bama and could have potentially had tied the football game, and then that's when they threw that long bomb, I think, on third down, and and ended up going in. And then, we had a turnover there, and it kind of snowballed at the end just because of, depth and just getting worn out and stuff like that. So, I fully expect that, Tennessee's going to go down and compete for sure. And yes, I think that is because of Heupel.
There's two sides to every coin, right? It's like you look at these first 4 games, and we talked about the importance. I beat it into the ground. Coming out of September 4-0, and that's where this team's at. But there are two sides to every coin, and as a fan base, it's either, well, you could easily be 2-2, or then you got these over here that are saying we're 4-0, we're going to win 11 games, and it's like, hey, don't get it twisted. I'm telling you guys to enjoy the ride. They could easily go lose this game at LSU. It's a tough game. I said it all offseason, and people are like, why are you so obsessed with LSU? They're not very good. Yes, they are. LSU has a ton of talent, and Brian Kelly, whether he works out in the SEC or not, I don't know. It's yet to be seen. But he's a good football coach. He's had success around the country, and they've got a lot of talent. This is just a big-time game, and if Tennessee goes down there and just, like Dauber said, be competitive, they're going to compete. This team has shown they're going to compete with anybody and everybody. Go down there and compete, and if you don't get it done, you're going to have a tough game coming up against Alabama. We got, I said in the video this morning, Murderers Row is right around the corner, Dauber. But we as a fan base have to realize where this team's at now in year 2. It's year 2. Don't get lost on that. I love to hype this team up. I love to create excitement. I love to talk about Heisman trophies, SEC championships, trips to Atlanta, and national championship contenders. But we got to be realistic sometimes too.
100%. And you look at the first 4 games. This team has won 2 that I think the 3 of us consider toss-up games.
100%.
So here
and didn't play their best football.
Yeah, here we're going on the road to a tough environment. Granted, little bit toned down with the early kick, but it's another toss-up game. But it's a good measuring stick for where this team is. I want to see them go on the road, and I want to see them play a complete football game and not have to grind it out to try to get the W. I want solid offense that we've seen, but I want to see some more from the defense. That's my concern. Listen, I'll take this team in a shootout with anybody. It's a crapshoot. There are not many teams that can hang offensively with this Tennessee team. You look at the run that they've had the last couple of games, no punting. They're operating at a very efficient offense. And LSU they've not faced tempo yet. So that's something that I'm really, really looking forward to seeing is this offense going down there and doing what they do. And, you heard the guys after the Florida game talking about, well, some of the defensive guys, we see what the offense can do. It was good for us to step up and show them that, we got their back too. And that's the thing that, I think that Heupel has brought to this team that, it doesn't seem to be about individuals. You look at the running back room, you look at the quarterbacks. When Milton threw his touchdowns, who's the first one to greet him on the sideline? Hooker. They're talking, they're trying to get each other better. I want to see somebody, what I would like by the end of the year is to see somebody in the secondary step up and take ownership of that group and be a leader. You guys remember Brian Randolph?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Be great to have him right now.
Be great. I'd like to see somebody step up and just own that back end of the defense like he did.
I know, Dauber. I just don't have much hope that that safety play is going to get much better. I mean, those guys are seniors and they've been down there and they got experience, and I don't know. It's just I just don't think they're athletic enough.
What do you think about corner play with D. Williams? Does D. Williams excite you at all, JP? Like, to to me, it's just I'm a little excited because it's a new face, but at the same time, he's not.
Is he
done it
really
at the
even going to play? I mean,
I think 100%. I don't think he starts. I think he'll play. I truly think he'll play. Who else has stood up? I talked about it last night with Eric Kane. Nobody has grabbed the bull by the horns and said, "This is my spot." And it's like Warren Burrell now out for the year, and we beat that into the ground. Warren Burrell's terrible. He's awful. He can't play. The dude goes down, and it's like, can we please have Warren Burrell back?
we need Warren Burrell back. Yeah,
it's just a fresh face. Where in the heck is Brandon Turnage? Like where is that guy?
Well, I mean, he got in there Saturday against Florida, and you know, he was giving up 20 yards instead of 15 like the other ones were. So
that's the only time I saw Brandon Turnage was when he was getting beat. That's the only time.
So I guess that's why he was only in for a series or something like that. But I mean, you know, certainly I'll be interested, but I'm hesitant to say that D. Williams is going to make a huge impact Saturday just because he's never played major college football. It's on the road, LSU. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I hope he does. I hope that they put him out there and he absolutely balls out and you know, they can't afford to take him off the field. But I would be hesitant to say that he's going to be someone that steps in Saturday in his first collegiate game and shines for sure.
Here's the thing, though. We've talked about this. I think what this team needs to do, because of the weakness on the back end, they need to put the pressure up. Crank that pressure up. Don't give him time to set his feet, and you know, you live with it. Because I have full confidence that this offense is gonna, when they get the ball, they're gonna either match or top whatever LSU does. And if you're putting pressure on him, you know, if you can get to him, if you can rattle him, man, I think that's the key to victory right there.
We're already talking LSU. Let's just dive in head first and get deep into this LSU game. But let me catch up on Super Chats, and then I want to play a clip from Josh Pate and then kind of circle back around to this same conversation we're having. John Baxter for $10 says, for Boogie to split between Dauber and JP. I'm glad this is becoming a bit on the channel. But, John, we do appreciate the Super Chat, especially JP and Dauber. They appreciate it. Scott Clayton becomes a member of the channel. We appreciate that. You got access to custom Talkin VAWLS emojis. Also, the fan call-in show, guys. Every Tuesday night at 9 o'clock, you guys have an opportunity to come on this channel and run the show. Last night, what did we do, Dauber? It was like 11 o'clock when we went off air. It's like 2 hours. Yeah, it was like 2 hours of just hanging out, talking football. That's a perk of being a member, but also it's, if you want more content, becoming a member of the channel is the way to do that. 15,000 subscribers, on our way to 16. If everybody joins the channel for 99 cents a month, we're going to be adding all kinds of content. And look, we are, what are we? We're 17 members away. 17 members away from a Buck Famous shirt going out to somebody for free. I don't think we're going to get there. We spent way too much time talking and not shilling, but I hope that's what you guys want. That's what we should be doing. But smash the thumbs up. That's quick and easy. If you want to be a member of the channel, hit that join button down below. Zach Cherry for $5. Thank you for the super chat. Says, how about this movie poster? Heupel, the battered VAWLS syndrome slayer. Dude, BVS is real. It is so real. It's so real. It's just like the Florida game. Dauber going to break a broom because we've been there, done that so many times. And Josh Heupel, his confidence is starting to bleed into me a little bit. Now, I'll be a nervous wreck come Saturday because I always am. But it's good to be nervous again, right? It's good to be nervous and actually care. Wayne Starnes for 2. Boogie excluded for Dauber and Joe. I don't know who Joe is, so I'm going to go ahead and say that Joe is me, and I'm going to take $1 of that $2. But thank you, Wayne, for the super chat. We appreciate it. I want to share a clip from Josh Pate. You guys know I love Josh Pate. Man, I love me some Josh Pate because he's a dude, and he just signed a gigantic contract with 24/7 Sports and CBS doing what we're doing right here. Like, YouTube changed the game. YouTube, people like Joe Rogan, like the national media, the news, none of that matters anymore because you can create your own platform on YouTube. And that's the beauty. Like, people come to me like, man, how do y'all do this? Like, where'd this come from? And it's like, pick up a microphone and start talking. Like some guys I go to church with want to start a podcast, and I was talking to them Sunday. I was like, "Where you guys at? Have you started?" Man, I wish. I'm like, do you think that we went to like YouTube school or something? Like, no. Trial by fire, trial and error, success through failure. Like, that's what it's all about. Pick up a microphone and go, man. And that's why I love Josh Pate, because that's what he did. Like, he just picked up his microphone, grabbed that platform on YouTube, and he is one of the biggest voices in all of college football. So let's play this. He broke down Tennessee LSU. I'm not going to play the whole thing, just going to play a little bit of a clip from it. But it is something worth noting going into this Tennessee LSU game. Let's hear what Josh Pate had to say.
You know LSU's got home field advantage. That edge is going to be talked about. But there's another edge that I don't think is getting nearly as much run. What did LSU do last week? They were in a 4-quarter rock fight against Auburn. They were down 17-0 at one point. They had to crawl over broken glass to win that game. And what was Tennessee doing? They had their feet propped up in Knoxville, Tennessee, just enjoying it all. And you know what it reeks of to me? It reeks of the Oklahoma State-Baylor game last week. Baylor goes to Iowa State, and they got a 4-quarter fight. Oklahoma State just sits at home and rests. And so everyone knew that Baylor was home, and they're hosting Oklahoma State. It was an error-prone Saturday for them. Meanwhile, the rested Oklahoma State just came in there and took care of business, and I wonder if that's not how this one plays out.
I think that is an interesting point, and the reason I wanted to play that clip so much, because, Darby, you said it earlier, the tempo. The tempo is going to play a factor on Saturday. Now you bring into account that they were in a dogfight last week against Auburn. That's a game they trailed 17-0 early, and you know their defense got them back in it, came back and won the game. But what do you think about that? The fact that Tennessee had to bye to get healed up, get healthy. Like he said, they were sitting at home on the couch while LSU was in a dogfight last week.
I mean, it shapes up well. Coming off a bye week, getting the extra couple of days to game plan, rest up. I tell you this right now, I can guarantee you that there are going to be some wrinkles in that offense that we've not seen yet, because a guy like Josh Heupel, who we've seen for one full season and 4 games, scheme up guys wide open. I think you're going to see something that is causing mismatches. You're going to see that tempo getting pushed and stressing that defense, spreading the field wide. And, man, it's going to be exciting. And that's what you can expect from this Tennessee football team. You're going to have the excitement on offense, and you hope that they stretch it out far enough that you don't have to get all excited about the defense, because it is what it is. I think, like JP said, especially that back end, I think it is what it is, and we're having to game plan and scheme defensively game by game, and it's do just enough to keep the other offense, that one score behind.
I think that the bye week came at an absolute perfect time. I mean, we were really banged up after that Florida game for sure. I mean, Hooker was hurt, and of course, you still had Sampson that's hurt, and sounds like that he's going to play. I don't think Tillman plays this week, but yeah, I mean, I definitely think that is that's a huge advantage for Tennessee to be well rested, and like Josh Pate said, I mean, that was a 4-quarter football game and physical football game that LSU just got done with last week against Auburn, and with that, so I definitely think that certainly plays in Tennessee's favor there for sure, and plus it gives them gave them extra week to game plan and watch film, and try to come up with a game plan Saturday that they can go into Baton Rouge and get a huge win for his football program.
Another big storyline that's going around this week is the LSU passing attack versus Tennessee's passing defense. I saw somebody put it in the chat earlier. Tennessee's passing defense, like what, 128th out of 131. It's a disaster. And we can talk about Anthony Richardson and the numbers that he put up. And you know, it is what it is. That's the storyline. Tennessee giving up 309.3 yards per game through the air. But when you look at LSU and when you look at Jaden Daniels, you know, and the first thing that stood out to me when I look at his numbers, right, when I just look at the line, 0 interceptions. He's thrown 6 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. So I'm like, okay, this is a guy that doesn't really turn the football over. Like similar to Hendon Hooker, right? You look at Hendon Hooker. Hendon Hooker doesn't turn the football over. On the season, 8 touchdowns, no interceptions. What's the difference? What is the difference? When you look at Jaden Daniels, he does not throw the ball vertically. He averaged 7 yards per attempt. Meanwhile, Hendon Hooker averages 10.6 yards per attempt. And that's the difference. Hendon Hooker, you know, the fact that what did he have? 2 interceptions last year? 3? What was I can't even. He's
3.
And he's gone 180. I don't even know what. I don't do my homework. I'm a fan, guys. I'm not media. He's thrown so many passes without an interception. And that's impressive when you stretch the field vertically like Tennessee does. Jaden Daniels does not do that. And that's something, even watching that LSU Auburn game, that Brian Kelly was losing his mind over. There were so many times that LSU, they had one-on-one matchups, and you could see Brian Kelly was like, throw the freaking ball. Like, throw the ball. Take advantage. It's a one-on-one matchup, but Jaden Daniels is scared to pull the trigger. What does he do when Tennessee sits back, if that's what they're going to do? And I've already converted Dauber. Dauber's like, it sounds like me talking. I'm like, can I get an amen? I've got Dauber converted. Maybe the 317 people watching live will start to buy into the Boogie Blitz package that I want to bring. But if not, if Tennessee does sit back and they force Jaden Daniels to hey, go beat us. And Anthony Richardson threw for 450 yards and still lost, and it doesn't matter. But I think there's a big difference between not throwing an interception when, I forget the numbers. I'm sure, JP, W may have listened to the VolQuest podcast. A lot of their passes go to the tight ends and running backs. Mm-hmm. Jaden Daniels is not stretching the field, and that's a big difference. Can he do that against Tennessee? Because to Dauber's point earlier, if it's a shootout, I like Tennessee's odds.
And the thing is,
I do too, Tennessee.
You look at a lot of Hendon Hooker's balls. He has put them only where his receivers can get them. You know, you're talking back shoulder, the corner of the end zone, and man, he is having an amazing beginning of this year. You know, we talked, I guess it was after the first or second game. Man, what's wrong with him? He's not making these plays. And you look at his numbers, his completion percentage was a couple points lower than it was last year. So he is playing efficient. He is playing well. It's just been a couple of plays that he typically would have made that haven't. He's had some drops, but yeah, I think Hooker is by far the better quarterback that's going to be on the field Saturday.
Oh, it ain't even close. He's the best player that's going to be on the field Saturday. What do you think about the matchup, though, JP? The matchup, Jaden Daniels against the Tennessee passing defense.
Well, I mean, he's definitely struggled throwing it vertical, but I mean, if I'm LSU, I'm certainly trying it Saturday. I'm certainly trying it, especially if Tennessee continues to play that soft zone. Because that's one thing about it. It's not like the LSU doesn't have the wide receivers to actually do it. It's just that Jaden Daniels hasn't evidently felt confident enough to really try to push the ball down the field. Well, 128th out of 131 in pass defense. What better week than to try it, especially after seeing, that we gave up all those yards to another quarterback that everybody said was struggling with that. So, but that's why getting pressure on Daniels will be so key. And that's why I don't think that Tennessee can afford play that same defense that they did against Florida. Yes, I know that Daniels, that he can escape the pocket and that he can hurt you, but I feel like that Tennessee was at their best when they were playing like they did against Pitt and continuing to bring pressure. And I would rather go that route. I understand the fact, that there's a possibility that, that you give up a big play or something like that. But to me, the opportunity to cause turnovers and to get your offense back on the field outweighs that.
Yeah, I mean, what? It's like we've said over and over and over. I've said it. Dauber said it. You've said it. What's the worst that can happen? They dink and dunk and just march down the field. That's what Florida did all day long. Just walk. Like, it felt like every time I was charting the play, and I'm like, Florida walks right down the field, scores. It's like, who cares if it takes one play? Because guess what? If it takes one play, who's got the advantage when Tennessee's going up tempo? If LSU goes out and scores in one play, their defense is going to be gassed when Tennessee comes right back out. And then that just continues to play into what we talked about from Josh Pate there. Last week against Auburn, Jaden Daniels, 8 for 20 for 80 yards and no touchdowns. 80 yards through the air. The difference is this football game for me, and I'm going to put out a video, the matchup. I like to put out a little matchup video, what I'm looking for, not necessarily keys to the game, but the biggest key to the game is turnovers. That's the only reason LSU beat Auburn is turnovers.
Yeah,
and
What,
it's
four of
not
them?
– there's a big difference between going out and, fumbling the football. Will Levis, his fumbles that cost Kentucky the game against Ole Miss, that's on Will Levis. Protect the dang football. There's a difference between that and a guy going out and making a play on defense. And that's what LSU does on defense, JP. They go out and make plays. There's a difference between forcing a turnover and stumbling across a turnover. LSU's going to be aggressive. Tennessee has to protect the football. That it starts with Hendon Hooker, keeping that streak going. Do not put the ball in harm's way, but also these running backs. We've seen Jalen Wright cough it up. You got to protect the football. I think if Tennessee wins the turnover battle, they easily win this football game.
Yeah, and if Daniels ends up with 8 of 20 for 80 yards, I feel pretty confident that us Tennessee fans will be celebrating probably about the start of the fourth quarter, I would think, because I would think Tennessee would absolutely be running up and down the field on them if that's his stat line Saturday for sure.
Let me say this real quick. Don Waldrop becomes a member of the channel. We appreciate it, Don. You got access to those custom Talkin VAWLS emojis. Those of you asking in the chat, we got a long way to go and a short time to get there. We need 16 members in about the next 8 minutes. So if you like the content, if you like what we do, you can join the channel, 99 cents a month. Hit that join button down below. If we get there, we'll give away a free Buck Fama shirt, but highly unlikely. But let's go ahead and jump into our official predictions. Let's talk about what we're looking for, maybe our keys to the game, and give our score predictions for Tennessee LSU. It just feels like a turning point. Feels like a turning point for this program. Dauber, what do you got coming up? What are you looking for on Saturday? And a quick reminder, we are going to do a tailgate show. It's just like the fan call-in show. We're going to go live at 11 o'clock. So get your coffee ready, your rock stars, whatever you drink to get woke. Maybe you drink Coors Light at 11 o'clock in the morning. I don't know. But come hang out, fan call-in show. The members have access to the show. You'll come on. We'll hang out for about 45 minutes, taking you up to kickoff, and then, of course, we'll be live immediately following the game. Go ahead, Dauber.
So for me, I think that you're looking at weakness versus weakness and strength versus strength in this matchup. Tennessee's strength is obviously going to be their offense. LSU's strength, I think, is going to be their defense and their ability, like you just talked about, forcing turnovers, creating turnovers. If Tennessee can protect the football, and the other thing is minimize mistakes. They've been pretty good this season about, no dumb penalties. We've seen improved play on that part. I think that, like I said, a shootout, I don't have a doubt that more than likely it goes in Tennessee's favor. I just don't think that LSU can keep up offensively with Tennessee. I don't think that they're going to go out and score at the rate that Tennessee will. I think that Hendon Hooker is by far the superior quarterback that will be on the field. And to your point, Boogie, probably the best player on the field Saturday. I look for the running game to go well. I think that Tennessee is going to run the ball well. And I think that is only going to aid in Hendon Hooker throwing the ball around. I do, however, think that it is going to be a close game because of the struggles on the back end. I think it's going to be over halfway through the fourth quarter when Tennessee takes a 10-point lead and then runs the clock out. I'm going 31-21.
Gosh, I hope so. I hope so. I'm trying not to let my battered Duvall syndrome sneak in. Let me get caught up. We got some super chats coming in here. David Darrington becomes a member of the channel. We appreciate that. Thank you for the support there, David. Also, Drew Shorter becomes a member of the channel. Man, we are building an army of members. We need 14 more members. 14 more members before the end of the show. It's not going to happen, but we still appreciate the support. Look, you get the fan call-ins, the emojis, all kinds of fun stuff. I don't know if you guys realize it yet. There's 323 people watching live right now. Speaking of, hit the thumbs up. We would appreciate that. But post-game shows are chaotic. It could be 800, 1,000 people in here. I always try to highlight the comments from the member. There's a power T beside your name. It's highlighted in green. I always try to give credit to the members and get your comments on the bottom of the screen. Mountain Man, it reminds me of Duck Dynasty. What do you think, Willie? Mountain Man 89 for 10. Thank you for the super chat. Says, here you go, JP. Let's get it done Saturday. He doesn't say that this is for you, though. He doesn't say that the super chat is for you.
Here
he just
you
says,
go, JP.
Yeah, he says, here you go, like, here you go, JP, here you go. Like, that's not saying the money's for you. He's just saying, here you go, JP. We appreciate the super chat, Mountain Man. Coleman Johnson becomes a member of the channel. 13 away. Maybe we can get to 13 in 3 minutes. We'll see. But thank you, Coleman Johnson, for becoming a member of the channel. Emoji Access. Show those custom Talkin VAWLS emojis out. Show them out in the chat. Drop all the custom Talkin VAWLS emojis you can get to. Speaking of, last night, Eric Kane on the show. We got an Eric Kane Talkin VAWLS emoji coming your way sooner rather than later. I got my stepbrother working on it right now. We appreciate the support. Scott Clayton for $100 freaking dollars. This came in while Dauber's giving his prediction. Everybody immediately says, Dauber, shut up. We don't care. We don't care what you think. We don't care about your prediction. Stop talking and play the clip.
Money isn't everything. It's the only thing. And everyone has a price for the $1 Million Man.
Thank you, Scott Clayton. Very, very generous. Very generous. Sometimes I don't even know what to say. You know, I make jokes and say that ain't cheap. It's all about money. How many times can you say thank you? Like $100 blows my mind. That is very generous, and we appreciate it, Scott. He says, let's go down and play for 60 minutes and walk away with a W. Defense has to show up big. Go Big Orange. Merry Christmas. It's Christmas in October. I love it. I love it. Thank you for the super chat, Scott. Like I said, man, you guys blow my mind. The leaderboard down there across the bottom, James Moody giving $500 at one time. What the heck is going on? He also gave $100. I think that was last night on the fan call-in show. And now Scott dropping $100. He could have given an extra penny and taken the monthly leaderboard, but we still appreciate it, Scott. Thank you for super chat. It doesn't say anything about JP, so I'm putting every penny of that $100 into my pocket. It doesn't mention Dauber. You guys want to make rules? I'll make them up as we go. That's all mine. Nobody's getting anything.
During my prediction.
Yep. Yeah, but they told you to shut up, so I don't know. How does that factor?
Scott didn't.
No, he didn't, but about 72 people in the chat did. Dude, we have created monsters in the chat. If a $50 super chat or more comes in, they immediately start screaming, "Shut up, stop talking, play the freaking clip." Like, monsters. We have created monsters in the chat. M5 for 5, thank you for super chat. Love everything y'all do. Boogie, if you quit your job and do this full time, can we get another NCAA stream in the week? I mean, maybe, like, if you guys wanted it, like, I'm not mad at playing NCAA football and you guys throwing money at me. Like, I'm not mad at that. I want to provide you with the content that you want, and that's why I'm thankful to guys like Gabriel and Xavier for jumping on. You know, look, Dauber's at work during the day. JP's at work during the day. I don't know what's going on with me. I don't know why I'm sitting around doing nothing on Mondays, but it is what it is. But so it's cool to have Gabriel jump on or Xavier jump on and add more content for you guys. But that's why I keep talking about memberships, and I know it's a bit and it's funny and people laugh, but it's true. If we grow enough memberships, then we can basically say, okay, I am going to do this full time, and Dauber and JP can still jump on in the evenings, but I can focus on creating content during the day. But we appreciate any and all support. Thank you, guys. This is a team effort. It ain't just me. It is a team effort, but we appreciate the support. Thank you for Super Chat M5. JP, what do you got? Give me your prediction, what you're looking for on Saturday.
I mean, there's so much part of me that wants to say that this is going to be a Missouri and a South Carolina game last year. Early kickoffs, Tennessee's going to jump out and dominate. But then I start thinking, LSU is not Missouri and they're not South Carolina. And yes, they've got a new coach and new staff and new system, but LSU still has tons of talent. And I think that their defense is very, very good. I know that they've got some new folks back there in the secondary. And I know that there was Auburn players that were running wide open Saturday, and I get that. And yes, I could see that potentially happening, but I still feel like that Tennessee's defense is going to allow teams to stay in these types of football games. And I think that puts so much pressure on Hendon Hooker and this offense. And my biggest concern is whether or not that Tennessee can protect Hendon Hooker Saturday. I mean, we all know about BJ Ojulari and the fact that he can really turn around a football game, and I think that that's going to be the biggest difference. Can this offensive line protect Hooker? Can Hooker escape like he did some of those times with Florida, and make plays with his legs? But I fully expect this to be a close football game. However, like we've talked about, Tennessee has the best quarterback and quite possibly the best player playing in this game Saturday. Hendon Hooker will find a way to get the job done. Big Orange goes to Death Valley. They take down LSU 28-24.
Before I make my prediction, is anybody on this panel, this is pretty much our Wednesday show, the three of us, is anybody ever going to pick against Tennessee until they lose? If they go beat LSU, the three of us, the three idiots here on the panel, we're all going to pick Tennessee to beat Alabama, right? 100%.
Oh, yeah, I definitely would.
Yeah. We're not picking against Tennessee until they lose. So, I think it's hilarious. I think it's hilarious. Let me, we got a couple super chats here. I'll hit these real quick and then I'll make my prediction. Not sure if I don't know if I hit this one or not. Coleman Johnson becomes a member of the channel. I may have said that one. I can't remember. We appreciate that. Everything Sports with Jay Rice for 10 says Tennessee 42, LSU 27, Hooker 325, and 4 total touchdowns. Well, sign me up for that. Sign me up for that. Kenny Davis says, JP, that's it.
I can continue. I didn't want to be long-winded. With that, turnovers are so crucial. LSU's defense, obviously, I think that they've had 8. They forced 8 turnovers this year, so that's going to be a huge key to this football game. And to me, that a lot of that goes back to the protection. These running backs are going to have to step up, and they're going to have to get these blitzing linebackers I mean, so many times that these that we've seen breakdowns with the offensive line and the running backs. That's my concern. Now, yeah, I mean, those are things that can be fixed. And if Tennessee plays a complete game, if they are capable, which they are, of playing a complete game on offense, even with our defense, I think that Tennessee could win this game going away. But they're going to have to prove that. I think that our running game. I wished I had as much confidence as Dauber does with the Tennessee running game this week. I think LSU's pretty stout. So, if we could go for 150 running, I would love Tennessee's chances to have a pretty convincing win there. But turnovers with that, certainly protecting the football, getting pressure on Jaden Daniels, not just sitting back like we did against Florida and just letting them just throw it on us. Plus keeping Hooker upright and giving him the opportunity to make those plays. And if we can do that, Big Orange will win.
Let me say this real quick. Samuel Reiner Custom Knives says, missed my member message. Look, it's part of it for whatever reason. Like if you're a member of the channel, it gives you a member message and it highlights it on YouTube, but it doesn't highlight it on the StreamYard software. So member messages are free. You don't pay for them, but for whatever reason, I can't see them. So I apologize for that. I don't think I've ever read a member message. I appreciate you being a member, but it just doesn't show up on our screen. It highlights it for the chat to see. We appreciate the support, my man, but I'm sorry. Like, I just can't see the member messages. Drew Shorter for 5. Thank you for Super Chat. Fun time to be a Vols fan. Enjoy the ride and embrace the chaos. Vols 42, LSU 24. I love it. Hayden Castile becomes a member of the channel. Thank you, Hayden. We appreciate that support. What are we? Let's see. We are 12 away. We're going to get 12 members in the next 45 seconds and give away a free shirt. Scott Clayton for 2. This goes to JP. Grab another Dr. Pepper, my friend. Thank you, Scott. We appreciate it, Scott. Robert Tuck for 2. What the heck is going on? This is from my friend Puppy Ball. Gabriel's not even on the show. We're allocating super chats for people that aren't even on the show at this point. That's what this channel has become. For the fans, by the fans, means something around here, apparently. Well, thank you, Robert, for your generosity. All right, I'm going to give a quick prediction. You guys, I don't even know what to say. We've pretty much covered the entire the layout of this football game, the big storylines going into the game. You know, Tennessee struggling against the pass. Can they stop LSU? I just like Tennessee in this game. There's a reason that they are favored by Vegas to win this game. Jaden Daniels, I think he's scared. I think he's scared to stretch the field. The biggest concern for me is that LSU defense. You know, are they going to force turnovers? Hendon Hooker's shown that he's not going to turn the football over. I just like Tennessee in this game. Jason Carasillo for 2. Can I get half a clip for my $2? No, Jason. No. You're $48 away from the clip. $48. But we do appreciate the super chat. But here's the deal. I said this game was a loss. When I broke down the season and I said 8-4, I said LSU was a toss-up, but I'm counting it as a freaking loss. That's 9-3. Tennessee's going to lose 3 games because LSU's a loss. What does the rest of the season look like? I said I think they drop a toss-up, whether it's Pitt, Florida, Kentucky, whoever it is. South Carolina, don't pretend I didn't say that. But I thought LSU was a loss. But I was at the gym yesterday, getting my cardio in, doing my speed walking on the treadmill, and this old man came up to me. And he came up to me about a year ago. And he said, "What's that shirt mean?" I had my Talkin VAWLS hoodie on. He saw the microphones. He said, "You some kind of radio guy?" It's the old guy. I said, "No, I got a YouTube channel. We get on, we talk about Tennessee athletics." So the entire baseball season, every time I saw him, he came up to me talking about Tony V and this baseball team and how good they were. And, like, I love talking to people from different generations about Tennessee athletics. I especially older people. I just enjoy the conversation. Usually if somebody comes up to me at the gym, I got headphones in, I'm like, leave me alone. He came up to me yesterday. I immediately pulled the earbuds down. I'm like, what's going on, buddy? He's like, what do you think about Saturday? We started going back and forth, and I was like, I don't know, man. I'm a little concerned about it. We kind of went back and forth, and he said, let me tell you something. Last thing I'm going to say to you, Vols 35, LSU 24. So that's my prediction. And it ain't my prediction, it's his prediction. But I'm rolling with it because I like it. 35-24 Vols, and that's the old man at the gym. That's not Boogie. Robert Tuck for 2. Thanks for Super Chat. That's where I'm going. Vols 35, LSU 24. Hey, I'm picking Tennessee until they lose. You talk about you got to see it to believe it. I got to see Tennessee lose before I believe it because I'm all in.
Did he tell you they have to finish?
No, because if he did, I probably would have screamed at him and told him to shut his mouth, and he didn't know what he was talking about. But that's not going to happen tonight. Look, we're in overtime. Gave you guys 10 free bonus minutes. We love you guys. We appreciate you guys for the support. Man, the way you show love to this channel, the fact that we made the decision to go live basically five days a week, like 4 times at night, Monday morning streams, and you guys still show up, show out, and show love. Like me and Dauber were on here for 2 hours saying the same crap last night that we said tonight, and you guys just want more of it, and we appreciate it. This channel is for the fans, by the fans. We got a shirt coming that's going to say that, for the fans, by the fans. We also have another shirt in the works. Dauber sent me a logo. It said Vols. It's the old school logo, VAWLS. Spire Sports Group ripped it off, but it's okay. And I started thinking last night, we were talking to Xavier after we went off air. Me, Dauber, and Xavier were talking, and Xavier said, what about a Vols by Fitty shirt? And I was like, what if I go with what Dauber said with the VAWLS with the old school star logo, VAWLS by Fitty? That's what we're working on. More content, more merch, all that stuff coming your way. Go check out the official merchandise of the Talkin Vols Network. You can go to bonfire.com/store/Talkin Vols. You guys already know the deal. The Buck Famine shirts are going to be gone. Tennessee plays Alabama at 3:30. We're going to go live immediately after. As soon as that live stream ends, these shirts are gone forever. So if you want one, you better go get one. The link's in the description below. But if you don't want one of those, we've also got the regular merch. Eric Kane texted me after we went off air. He sent me a text. He's like, dude, you going to hook me up with one of those State Pride shirts? I said, I'll take care of it. I'll send you one, Eric. I'll send you one for free, Eric. So he likes that design. Check that out. But any and all support, guys, we love you. We appreciate the way you support this channel. Go check out the merch. If you want to become a member of the channel, that helps as well. Come on, here we go again. Scott Clayton for 2. Dauber, I got you. Here you go.
Job, Dauber.
That's a way to close it out right there. I love it.
This is a good comment. Reed Harrison. Boogie, can you do a Thursday morning stream? Yeah, I can. When you get a lot of people to become members of the channel. Reed, I love you, buddy. I'm glad you're here, but you're not a member. You want Thursday morning streams? You want Friday morning streams? Become a member of the channel. 15,000 subscribers. If everybody joins for 99 cents. I'm going to go live every morning during the week that we don't have an evening stream. So if we continue the Tuesday, Wednesday schedule, I'm going to do a Monday morning stream, a Thursday morning stream, a Friday morning stream. So the more people that join the channel, the more content you're going to get. Look, this is what I want to do. I love YouTube, but I can't sit here and go, Dauber, you got to quit your job, man. We're going to go live every morning. So it is what it is. But the more people that join, okay, here's Wayne for $2 more for JP. Kaylin says they're just not your friends tonight, Boogie. I know. Apparently everybody hates what I do, but they love JP and Dauber. Okay. It's okay. I'm going to wrap the show because I don't want you guys to give any more money to JP and Dauber. So I just want to get out of here and go to bed. So we're going to wrap this thing up, but seriously, it's all good fun.
I'm out of Dr. Pepper.
Shut up, JP. Shut up. Okay, here comes more super chats. Drew Shorter for 2. Dauber, take the $1. Boogie, you got the 99 cents.
Oh man,
Wayne for $2. Wayne for $2 just says Dauber. Doesn't say anything else. Look, Scott confirms I dropped 100 just for Boogie. Are we just gonna stay live all night reading super chats? Because I'll do it. Don't tempt me. Don't tempt me. Jason says let's do a Friday morning stream. Got to get more members in here, man. Got to get more members in here. And then, look, I'm burning through paid vacation like nobody's business just to do these morning streams. And I enjoy them. I love them. Like, I love hanging out with Gabriel, but I can't do it 3 days a week. Eventually, I'm going to get fired. Hopefully that's what happens. Wayne for another $2 says, this is just for you, Boogie. I've already lost count. I've already lost count of all these designated super chats. I hope you guys have the Scott says, I'll drop 50 for another 30 minutes. JP won't like that. He's got to go to bed and get his beauty sleep. He's got to get his beauty sleep. Let's wrap this thing up. In all sincerity, we appreciate you guys. We love you guys. I thrive on YouTube, man. I love getting on here, hanging out with Dauber, JP. Look, we're real life friends. Like, that's the thing. So many people are like, hey, let me come on the show. Let me come on. No, man, this is a real life connection. It's always a blast jumping on here talking Tennessee football with these guys. But that's going to do it. We're going to wrap it up. Don't forget, Tailgate Show an hour before kickoff. We'll be live immediately following. Also, don't forget, Locked On Vols every single Friday morning. Boogie Bentley going to be hanging out with Eric Kane for Locked On Vols. Eric's going to be jumping on this channel every week as well. But make sure you guys do go listen Monday or Friday morning. It's always a good time hanging out with Eric. But that's going to do it. He's Dauber. He's Vols JP. My name is Boogie Bentley. Go Big Orange.
Songs howl like beat, poets at an arcade, soaking moonlit falls, unbroken past this updated orb that we